Yo, and away we go. Part 2 today. It's going to be a fun one tonight, I'll tell you. AEW Dynamite. For once, we don't have 6,000 matches booked on a card. And I'm telling you, it's exciting the fact that, we're not 100% sure what we're going to get tonight for a lot of this. Sorry, just trying to get my streamlights on here. It's a little dark behind me. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the AEW Dynamite Sidecast. It is April 19, 2023. We got AEW Dynamite from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, coming up tonight. There we go. Let's go with the shiny instead. It'll match up with the sounds that are on the TV, I do believe. So, all right, well, we're dealing with wrestling here, so things might get a little excited. So, looking at tonight's card, we only have 4 matches that are actually announced for tonight. We do have the debut of Jay White as he's going to take on Kommander. I hope I'm saying that right, Kommander, the AAA superstar. We also are going to get a 6-man tag with the JAS version of Danny Magic, Mike Menard, and Jake Hager taking on the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. That's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. We got the TBS Championship going on with Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow getting that rematch going on after all that craziness that happened with the TNT Championship, with the break-in of the vehicle, the whole sentimental that everybody felt about it and whatnot. And then we got... for our women's match tonight, we have the return of Britt Baker to Pittsburgh. She's teaming up with Jamie Hayter, taking on Toni Storm and Ruby Soho. So I really hope they start developing this feud into something decent here, where they can actually morph this out of this stalling pattern that they pretty much have right now with the women's division. We're going to get a lot of talk as well tonight. Jesus. Sorry, just watching the Lakers and Memphis going on right now in the background here, waiting for the show to start. Yeah. We're going to hear from Adam Cole and Chris Jericho going on. We got... It's going to be a fun night of wrestling here, and it's going to be a lot of talking tonight. I got a feeling with all the action that we've had over the last few weeks, this might be one of those where things promo up a little bit more here tonight. And then we got some of the biggest news coming down the pipe right now. It's pretty much guaranteed that we're going to get a Saturday night show with AEW with a secondary roster right now just to placate Punk. Could you imagine having enough money and enough backing and a big enough roster that you could actually have a secondary show just created just because some people can't get along? It drives me absolutely nuts. And I wish I had that kind of money. They just put it straight up there. If I could have that kind of coin, I would definitely take it. I guess the other biggest news that relates to most of us around here is the fact that WWE has reached a deal with Twitch and essentially adding it into their contract with the wrestlers that work for them, that they're allowed to stream on Twitch for a nominal licensing fee. Essentially, that's what it seems like that's what it's breaking down to. It is... It's going to be a 3-way deal between Twitch, WWE, and the talent themselves, which we're still in a position here right now where WWE is looking to have their cake and eat it too. I find that, like, this has been a debate we've been having for a very long time here with unionization and trying to get the wrestlers what they deserve, what's fair. Like, you look at this at AEW, I don't think there's anything in their contracts about getting anything for their services on Twitch. I believe it's you. If you want to go on Twitch, feel free. They do have an AEW Games channel on Twitch that is handled by Evil Uno, who, by the way, Evil Uno, absolutely outstanding person. I heard so many good stories from wrestlers after the show the Top Talent had here last Thursday, which, by the way, Andre and Melball just did a review of the Top Talent show that came up last Thursday from here in Edmonton, featuring Masha Slamovich in a brutal championship match. Anything goes against Ava Lawless. And then, of course, the aforementioned Evil Uno taking on Heavy Metal. That is now available on the Andre and Melball Wrestling Chalk channel, and it will be available on our YouTube channel here coming up next week. We always try to keep things a little bit delayed here on our channel, let the other channels get a chance to grow first, and then you guys can check things out live, check out things out on our channel. But we are having some live stuff come up on our channel, on the wrestling channel, this weekend. And it's not wrestling. I'd like to formally announce that on this Saturday, 2 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Eastern. I want to get the exact name down so I don't screw this up. Andre C is going to be joined by Andres, known as the Humanoid Freak, on the social media platforms, and they're going to be reviewing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. And that'll be a live presentation on our wrestling YouTube channel. If you do remember, we used to have video games up on that channel before we started up Backbreaker Gaming. So, want to give these guys an opportunity to try some new stuff. So please, if you're around, please check it out. If you guys are interested in more stuff like that, maybe we'll throw it up on our gaming channel going forward here. But, yeah. But in terms of wrestling, like, I'll be honest, I've seen the reviews come down from Raw this week, and while it wasn't a horrible week, but it wasn't anything spectacular. So I'm really hoping that WWE itself gets its act together, and AEW provides a solid show. Like I said, this is an opportunity here for AEW to get some substantial growth out of what happened with the debacle of WWE, just basically by not screwing up. If AEW can maintain a solid show, the growth will come. Just because they're not, like, they got this drama going on with CM Punk and the imminent return of him coming up next month, which everybody is speculating, nobody's confirming. It's going to be, if that is the case, that is going to be happening here, I'm going to be very, I don't want to say upset. I'm not one of these guys that thinks that Punk should never get a chance, but at the same time, how many chances is he going to get? It's sort of, if they're going to allow Jeff Hardy to come back, they got to allow CM Punk to come back. I just hate the fact that they're potentially going to be coming up with a separate show just to separate the Punk friends and the non-Punk friends. And one of the biggest points here about a new show, if you're going to set it around a guy like CM Punk, is the fact that CM Punk has been injured 4 times since his return already, I do believe. It's either 3 or 4 times. He's already been injured since he made his return in Chicago all those months ago. So But as we get started here, I'll match you guys up with the pyro. But I do want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by here tonight. Whether you're checking things live or you're checking out via what the hell is this? Fix your TV. There we go. There we go. Dynamite's on the air. Oh, that scared me. That they had the feed set up for ESPN hockey, which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate hockey, but that's on Sportsnet. This is TSN here. So we're going to hear Dasha Fuentes here tonight instead of Justin Roberts. Apparently, I want to wish the best of recoveries to Justin Roberts, who came up on social media today to announce that he does have COVID, so he is social distancing, just as a precaution right now. Mr. Zodiac, how the heck are you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well today. So yeah, Zodiac, this might not be your favorite Dynamite tonight because they've only got 4 matches advertised. I'm assuming they're going to have 1 or 2 extras that weren't announced, but this is going to be a very talky show. Because Tony Khan, like I said, Tony Khan usually likes to announce most of his matches ahead of time. And tonight he only announced 4 matches, so... Which I would appreciate if those matches did get a little extra time, because, you know, you got Britt and Jamie in a tag match tonight, so... So are we going to get the pillars coming out all at the same time right now? So realistically, I was just thinking about this this afternoon as I was just trying to mentally clear my mind from today's debacle of MLB The Show. If you guys didn't see earlier today, I got swept in a doubleheader in our league games, which, yeah, it wasn't pretty. Anyway, bit tired of the pillar angle. I think it was actually done to begin with. I'm almost thinking, you know, it would be great if Britt Baker would come out and call herself the Foundation. Just because not only did she win the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament, which means she's part of the Hart Foundation. Well, you know, you could 6 degrees of separation, you could say that. Darby, you're not on a skateboard. What the hell? Lost your driver's license for the week or what? Granted, that ramp ain't very long, so I don't think it'd be much of a use. I do find it funny that AEW in the States has to use these smaller venues that are 9 or 10,000 people. And they're coming to Edmonton and they got I think they got 12,000 sold out minimum. I haven't heard if they're opening up the whole thing. This whole angle they're doing right now means nothing more than MJF retaining. Yeah, like they're... So are we getting one of those, who's qualified and who isn't? It might as well be called the Sting Appreciation Society. Sting and Darby versus Jericho and Sammy. Be an interesting match. Jungle Jack, huh? Nothing really does. I don't know about you, Zodiac, but does anything really about Jack Perry really stick out as champion kind of thing? Like, I get the pedigree part of it. Oh, here we go. In fact, none of them stand out as a main champ. Yeah, like the only one that, like, to be frank, Sammy carries himself as close to a champ as possible. But even then, like, I hate to think of AEW like an indie wrestling fed, but it just feels like an indie wrestling fed if these guys are your ones that you're thinking are going to be champion here. Don't bring up the wife thing. All right. That's true. Sammy Guevarra doesn't really pull a lot of punches and tries to... AEW built its foundation on being high-funded indie. Yeah, I would say so. It just... Oh! Nice little piece of censoring there. Like, I don't mind being like an indie fed. It's just for your top champion, you got to have somebody who, you know, might have the slightest bit of intimidation in them. Unless you're going one-on-one in an underdog storyline. And there's no real underdog storyline here. Heh. Well, Jungle Boy had a feud to get rid of, so of course he's going to be on the card. Okay, okay, we got Two-Face and the Joker something here, because that's a line the Joker uses. Okay. Yeah, because he beat Cody. Which I think is pretty much something that everybody does lately. It's one guy, and we all know who it is. Like, this is just... Like I said, this might not be your favorite episode here. And really, it's not turning into one of mine in a hurry here. It's like this promo needs a little pace to it. Yeah, this is not going to have me keep this channel right now. I did good promos. This is the Pillars by Gadabi, AstroTurf narrative, and Sucky. Yeah. But here's the thing about promos, and this is one thing I've learned a very long time ago. If you don't get to the point where somebody gets in there and sends this promo to a purpose, you're just rambling. And you're not going to keep the fans entertained. And here comes the king of overdeveloped promos, which might actually be a help out here. Oh, there we go. There's some heat for you. And that's the original heat I don't mind. Thank you. MJF saying everything I'm thinking right now. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so they're gonna have the 3 matches, and then oh great. And the winner gets Darby. Well, there's your reason why they only announced 4 matches. So are we gonna we get straight to okay? If we could have done this about 5 minutes earlier, I think we could have saved this promo tonight. But this one just, yeah, no. So our main event's going to be Sammy and Jungle Boy, and the winner gets Darby, I guess. And they're putting the women's match up now? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but Tony Khan might be playing with fire here tonight with this booking. Putting the women's match with the hometown hero in the first half hour of the show? Maybe it's just me, but there's a possibility there could be a little bit of apathy after this. Because I really don't know if we're going to get... When AEW debuted, it was a shining example why promos can be great when it isn't as scripted. Now they're a shining example why they're better if they're scripted. Absolutely. I think there's a way that you could have kept this one unscripted. I think just the key of the whole thing is they should have brought out MJF about 5 minutes sooner. Because that story they were developing, they took way too long to get it out. And it's almost like the crowd was cheering for MJF to come out there just to end it. Give them hard time limits? Yeah, but also people have to sit down and teach them, look, this is how you feel a crowd, and this is where, somebody should be going over the tape with them tonight, or after the show, or between this show and next show. Somebody should be going over the tape and saying, look, this is where you lost the crowd right here. And I'll tell you, just as they started going over their putting the other guy over moments instead of themselves, pretty sure that's the point where they lost the crowd at this point. So you can't lose a crowd you never had. Fair enough. And that's another thing about going into the same venue multiple times in recent memory. I know that we're getting AEW up here July 5th here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I'll guarantee you there ain't going to have to do much to get us into AEW there. Tickets were basically going like crazy the second that they went on sale. That crowd's going to be loud, going to be boisterous. Especially with a lot of the local talent going to be part of Dark before the show. But now that crowd is officially going to be here. Sorry, when we're talking about the live show right now. Okay, next week the winner of Perry and Guevarra faces Allen. See, if they were smart, they would have done... If they were smart, they would have done a round robin with these three and just hold it out for a little bit longer here. Yeah, Vic, we were just talking about... by the way, hi, Dr. Wario. Good to see you here once again today. And, yeah, that was very rough. That 12 minutes there, we were talking about, how the crowd actually was cheering for MJF, more so the fact that they were going to end that promo when MJF come out. Because here's the other thing you can notice. When you're dealing with that promo there, you could almost feel the second where MJF is an expert in these kind of promos while the other three are still working on it. That must be Britt's parents there that Saraya's going after. If it was anywhere else but Pittsburgh, it would absolutely drive me nuts that Jamie Hayter's coming out first and Britt's going to be second here. But the fact that, just like Taz said, the doctor's home. I'm a big fan. I'll be the first to admit it here, too. So it took a little bit to grow on me, just to see what Britt was up to. But seriously, she looked like a women among girls when it came to the early part of AEW, and now... in many ways, it still feels that way, but the gap is closing quite a bit. The only thing that's holding him in the way right now is the awful booking. Because, like I was saying in the pre-show here, I really do hope that they fix. I don't know if they can fix the booking, but I hope they advance it at least. But you could tell that Hayter and Storm have worked well together before. Britt, why don't you just get in there and break it up? Wow. But how are you guys doing tonight? Dr. Wario and HPC 2 Sweet. How are you guys doing? Haven't had a chance to talk to a lot of people this week. Like we had our stream earlier today with MLB The Show. That was throw her out. Like, why are you not throwing her out at this point? Man, this looks... Quit showing Britt, like, there's action going on. Seriously. Get the cameraman a water. But I really do hope that, like I said, tonight they need to find some way to progress this story somehow. Because we finally got our first visual of a Double or Nothing logo from AEW with the announcement of the tournament to crown a pillar challenger for MJF. Oh, Britt was trying to go over a Canadian Destroyer on the floor. All good here. Tired but surviving. More tired after the 12 minutes. Yeah, like that promo was, yeah. Like having Britt out here to basically save the crowd. In a way, it's smart booking. In another way, it might be dangerous tonight. Like I said, because when it comes to the rest of the show, like is Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow gonna be something that's gonna keep this crowd going up? Jamie Hayter. Hey, member of the game, how you doing, Adam? Hope you're doing well. Glad to see Jamie Hayter on the screen, yes. Just not very impressed with the early part of the show. Like, when MJF comes out to say... You could tell how much better on the mic MJF is compared to the other headliners on the card right now. Like, Sammy does feel comfortable around it, but he just doesn't have all the pieces put together. Darby... I don't know if he's got a real plot line for himself. And then when it comes to Jungle Boy, like seriously, he could be great on the mic. But right now his personality is drier than the Kings' chances of getting goals tonight in the NHL playoffs. Here's hoping, at least. But yeah, this is going to be tough. Like, after this women's match, how's the crowd going to respond to everything else? Because we got the Elite to come out for a promo about the Blackpool Combat Club. We got Adam Cole and We got Adam Cole and Chris Jericho are supposed to be meeting up face-to-face tonight. And then we got those other 3 matches that we're expecting. The Acclaimed are going to get the crowd just because of the rap that's coming up. And Kommander and Jay White is going to be insane just for what they do in the ring. But the rest, I don't know what... I'm biased because I love MJF, but he's so far ahead of the rest of them on the mic. It's insane. There is no arguing that right now. There is absolutely no arguing how much MJF is better on the mic than the rest of those quote-unquote pillars. And I did mention this right before the match... or about halfway through the promo. Britt should come out. If they're calling themselves the pillars, Britt should be just plain old the foundation, because she is seriously the... Compared to those 4, at least 3 of them, if not 4. And there's your hot tag. Even as Britt's injured, she could still go better than most of the women in the division here. And she has been carrying so many people. You know Toni won't allow that, yeah. Doesn't work with the key demo. Sometimes you just got to add the demo to yourself here. I still think it would be very apropos with the fact that, you know, she did win the Owen Hart tournament, so she could be part of the foundation. She's pulling the lockjaw out early here, or pulling out the glove at least for the lockjaw. Gotta love the air egg crash there. It's a very nice reversal. Oh no, Baker gets hit. Oh, never mind. Nice little double team there. Nice butterfly suplex. Like, I haven't seen these two work like this as a team in a while. Ah. So I was jumping around the subject there. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, Britt does have a back injury right now. That's why she's been limiting her time in the ring, and as you could tell in this match, she's been keeping things fairly simple in terms of her movement. Britt kicks out at 2 after a belt shot. That's only supposed to be held for people that are holding the title and they're supposed to be losing it that night. Either that or Saraya's got such a soft touch on that belt shot. Because that was pretty horrible. Jamie, what? You can't even recognize that she's diving at your leg? All right, a level of disbelief, I guess we'll live with that at this point, but... Oh, here we go. Little delayed, but she got it. That was an ugly belt shot. Yeah, that was just like a... I'm just going to stick it up and you're going to pretend you hit it. All right, now you got her position. There you go. There's the lockjaw. Let's go. And Ruby's there to tap out as always. So one thing about AEW, your hometown people will very rarely lose in their hometown. Like the last time I think we had it was that triple threat in Winnipeg. So the Outcasts are getting beaten up once again, and now, okay, they're playing it up that, I wonder if they're playing it up or if it's actually true, that arm injury to Jamie there. I sure as hell hope not. Don't tell me. Double A returning to our screens. Betty's packing. Let's get the Glock. It's Glock Anderson. Is Anderson going to be at Wardlow's corner permanently? That to me, that actually might be one of the best decisions that they could do with a guy like Wardlow. Wardlow's got such a soft-spoken voice, and yet he's this angry man. You need an angry voice to go with him. So now we're getting another promo. This is where it's almost like a bad clutch here. Remember when Wardlow was white hot? Yeah, that was a great time when Wardlow was that white hot. And then MJF basically ruined it for him and they had to rebuild him. And I think the possibility of having a guy like Arn Anderson with him in his corner, like, I hope it's more than one night. If it's just one night, then it's one night. But if it's more than that, I really look forward to having... Oh, got to get that second verse in. Come on now. Oh, Zodiac, I'm with you. He made him and he ruined him. And it was just this... It's the second part that rubs me the wrong way. Like how he ruined them. It wasn't anything storyline that he was involved in. It was just the fact that MJF was a petty piece of crap. And it was all over a contract dispute. And the fact that nobody even knew that MJF was going to be there or not. I brought you into this world and I'll take you out. Fair enough. Where's my goat emote? Oh, the Kenny Omega one. I got to find that again. Was that the pay-per-view live and everyone was ready to see MJF get destroyed and all we were talking about in the arena was whether or not he'd show up? That's exactly it. Like, I know you were double or nothing there, Adam, and... Oh. Sorry, I had to... Wow. He's pulling out the Punk card. And the Punk card in the other way. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, Moxley's head showed up at the wrong spot, but... All right, well, Jackson's acted up. Well, I love that Claudio's out there with the championship still around his waist here right now. Like, honestly, and with all due respect to Claudio, I'd love to see him just stay on ROH for right now, just to make that title still feel worthwhile. Like, I know it gets the extra exposure being on the main show, but... Ha! He just gets thrown right into Omega's chair. Moxley's like the final boss here or something here. No, this is how you set up a blood and guts match, folks. Oh, he's hockey turtling him. I'd say let's go Penguins, but... Yeah, not to be the over-analytical nerd I am, but this Blackpool heel turn just hasn't done anything for you. Feels like one week they decide, screw it, they're playoffs, they're heels now. I think the payoff will work. I think these guys will do enough to make that payoff work. There's just too much talent in here not to make it look good. I really wonder about that Death Rider. Like, why do they continually use the Death Rider like that? Yeah, people like the wrestlers in the Blackpool Combat Club. I get it. And they aren't different as heels? No, they aren't. Callis was coming out with a chair and then just disappeared. They aren't different as well. Here's the thing. Like, one thing you got to notice when Danielson came out all the time, he would never come out as a out of the face tunnel. It was always out of the heel tunnel. Well, this is a way to make a star. Okay. Into a blue thunder bomb. There you go. Takes off his shoes. Seems he's running around. It looks like he's sliding too much on those shoes, so... But I'm hold on here. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know. Takeshita could actually be another BCC member, right? And Callis is just playing us all. For some reason, I just get that vibe. Just with everything that's been going on over the last little while here. But we are making up numbers here so that, blood and guts could actually be a thing. And the fact that you have Takeshita there instead of Hangman there could be very interesting as well, right? So it is confirmed they are using the international feed for TSN tonight. If you guys came in at the beginning of the show, they actually had the ESPN feed on and they screwed up because the American feed that they normally use it's got playoff hockey on right now. So they got the Carolina New York Islanders game on right now on that feed. So they had to use the international feed tonight. I don't know if they've announced it yet, but I heard something, and I hope they confirm it here tonight on the show, that next Saturday next Wednesday's episode of Dynamite might actually be on Saturday instead. I heard something about it getting switched up because of the playoffs. Wonder what draws better in the States, playoffs or Dynamite? I would say Dynamite does in terms of the one-night demo. However, they are getting multiple nights on their deal with ESPN and TNT. So, and the fact that I bet you the NHL, while ESPN is giving them money, they're giving them a hell of a deal. So, advertising revenue for sports versus wrestling has always been weighted towards sport. That's gone on for years. Like trying to get advertisers to advertise in pro wrestling, it's starting to get easier, but for many years it's been absolutely horrendous. Just because of what, if you look back in the 2010s and then you go from the Attitude Era to the 2010s, a lot of the people that are in charge of advertising right now and advertising dollars, they're the ones that were watching wrestling during the Attitude Era, during those 2010s. So when they think of wrestling, that's the first thing that comes to their mind. These different wrestling promotions have to go to them and show them that it's more than just dick jokes and half-naked women running around not knowing how to wrestle. And obviously you don't have that same problem in hockey. The biggest problem you have in hockey right now is you got goons like Michael Bunting, who just got 3 games for nearly trying to kill a man on the ice. So once again, just want to send my best wishes to Justin Roberts tonight, who was unable to attend Dynamite due to being diagnosed with COVID. So right now he's currently isolating and just trying to get better. And it actually makes me feel good that AEW is still at a position where they still want to implement rules that you have to stay home and you have to isolate. Because while it's always better to side on the side of caution here, so. Depends on the team, Zodiac. Yeah, it also could be that too. Like, I'll tell you, Connor McDavid is definitely getting some views right now. So, if it's the Oilers Dynamite. I don't know if we want to say that there, Zodiac. If it's the Leafs. If it's the Leafs in a Game 7, definitely not. It's definitely hockey. But I think everybody's expecting the Leafs to lose in 3 in this best of 7. So I really wonder if... could you imagine Wardlow getting cheated out of the championship by Arn turning his back on him tonight? Leafs draw more than anything, win or lose. Unfortunately, that's the case. Now, if Wardlow was smart, he'd have 2 people ringside, because, you know, there's that extra girl out there ringside that, you know, gotta make sure you take account for here as well, right? And actually, Dr. Murray, now that I think about it, the Leafs in the States, I don't know if that's as much of a draw, unless you get a lot of transplanted Canadians down there, right? I would think it'd be more of a Bruins and a Rangers kind of thing down there. Maybe a little bit about the Kings, but I think there is some way that Wardlow loses this match to Hobbs, so Hobbs can keep the title for a little bit longer. But then Lightning has to be a bit of a draw with the runs recently. Absolutely. Like, when you got a dynasty going, you are going to get the extra viewers. But when it comes to Hobbs, I expect him to win this. Shenanigans or whatever. That way we can get Wardlow into a little higher level. Like to see a Wardlow turn heel, personally. Do they really want to do that? Okay, so Rampage... Oh, no, Rampage this week is going to Saturday. Okay. And that makes sense with all the hockey going on Friday, right? So... But a Wardlow heel turn, how could you, like, here's the thing. I would love to see Wardlow get into an MJF feud. But it very well could be the position here where you'd want to wait and maybe wait and let that breathe a little bit first. Like, my prediction has never changed. The guy that's going to take the belt off MJF, I feel, is going to be Adam Cole. Can't turn him without a plan. I just think guys like him work better that way. Oh, yeah, see him go after MJF? Yeah, like, I eventually want to see that feud come out. And, yeah, I think we all could agree that Wardlow's basically spun his tires ever since that Double or Nothing match against MJF, because they really didn't have much of a direction for him, much of a plan for him to go forward there. And yeah, like, what do you do with somebody that big, that talented? Like, you got to find a way to push him somehow, but Toni hasn't been able to push those big guys, right? Like, that was all a Vince thing. Vince was always able to push those big, beefy, muscular men slapping meat, right? Like, if Vince watched the other promotions, he'd probably be drooling over this match right now. Granted, he would think this is probably Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley on a bad TV. as delusional as he is, and he'll book that match next week. Just for the fact that he saw that match this week and, wants to turn it around that way. You agree about Cole beating MJF too? Yeah, to me, it just feels like the ultimate redemption story for Cole to get that championship back. And I honestly do feel that before the concussion, Cole was going to be the guy to carry that championship. You were going to get an Adam Cole CM Punk feud where basically Adam Cole could represent, and I understand he came from NXT and whatnot, but understand he would be sort of that newer breed. He almost feels like one of the new breed wrestlers coming down here instead of an old guard. But after everything that happened at All Out, you just got stuck with... You basically got stuck with no champion. You place it on Moxley for a safe bet, and then you give it to MJF because you want somebody to chase for the championship right now, right? But I feel for all the shenanigans, for all the stories, everything that Adam Cole has done, he just seems so perfect to take that championship off. But it's got to be organic. He's got to go through this feud with Jericho. And hopefully he goes through it relatively unscathed, because everybody that's gone through a Jericho storyline right now, I don't know if there's been that much steam coming out of it. Because even you see Ricky Starks right now, that granted that was ass backwards booking on that one, but Ricky Starks really, he's in a feud right now with Jay White and Juice Robinson. And Juice just seemed to can't get out of his own way these days. He got disqualified in the New Japan Cup tournament to take on Omega at Forbidden Door for the U.S. Championship. He got kicked out of that tournament, so... Granted, I don't think he was winning, but still. I think Jericho's trying to put the guys over, but yeah, it just come by stale. Beating Jericho. It's gotta be a different person each time. If you want to have a highlight feud, don't always have it be Jericho. It's like we were talking about months ago with the Acclaimed. They were the gatekeepers of the mid-card good guy tag team that you'd want them to beat. You'd have them beat the Acclaimed in order to get a title shot kind of thing against the heel tag champ. And that's what I think a lot of people are scared of. And we'll talk about it during their match, but I think that's what a lot of people are scared of for the Acclaim going forward. Do they get put back in the same role that they were in before? I love how they use the Zangief clothesline there for the fact that it's not... If you're actually sitting there and trying to do that back up and over like that, you know it's not really going to do a whole lot, right? QT Marshall with the diamond cutter. All right, there's the pin. Arn, you went up on the wrong side. You're supposed to go... Oh, you want to see us... Arn, are you going to pull out a spine buster? Oh, wait. Here it comes. Here it comes. Glock Anderson is loose. Oh. On the Anderson DDT. You know, Anderson can't really pull out the old spine buster anymore, but he could definitely do the DDT. That's somewhat of an easier move. Short power bomb there. No way. They're going to give the title back to him? In his hometown, no less. Well, I guess that's how you even out the odds, right? But once again, this is a hotshot title. If this is the case. Yep. We got a hotshot title, my friends. So what, Wardlow's a 3-time champion now? I don't mind, like, I know we talked about this earlier, but I really didn't mind it. All right. CLB's coming out. If you guys aren't sure what that means, that's Creepy Little Bastard, a.k.a. Christian Cage. But it looks like we're going to get Wardlow and Luchasaurus. Look at that gear on Luchasaurus. Looks like a Mortal Kombat created character. Well, at least if I could create a character on there, you know, anytime anybody try to punch me high, they get hit with a blade. They didn't even give Wardlow like 5 seconds to celebrate that win. That's the funny part about that. Like, their level of timing on some of this stuff, it just buffoons me. I think this means when Wardlow lost the belt, they wanted to push him to the main event, but then couldn't find anything for him and backed out. Yeah. Very well could make sense that way. Why are we giving these guys more promo time? Thank you. So we've been saying for months here. Because MJF equals ratings. I hate it when you're right. Sometimes. With it. Like, seriously, like, this section could have been put into the opening section tonight. See, now if I was there with the pen, I'd make sure I stab him in the back. Oh, whoa. With Renee smiling about that, could it be? I wonder how much that could be. How much would MJF have to pay you to lie down? That's a good question here, chat. How much would MJF have to pay you? Just for me wiping the smug off his face, I'd want at least 7 digits. Not much, really. I just like money. I'd pay him 50. I'd pay him $50 for that privilege. So, hear me out, folks, and I just want to talk about this outside of what we dealt with here. And actually, Andre and Melball might be a little better to explain it than me. But during Battle of the Valley, I thought that Jay White was actually kicked out of the Bullet Club completely. Granted, there's enough versions of the Bullet Club that I think there's probably a Bullet Club Edmonton somewhere here. Pretty sure the Bullet Club in Calgary's wrestling rodeo, but I digress at this point. Their Bullet Club good, though. Okay, this match actually should be pretty insane. Like, this is one of those that hasn't been advertised a whole lot in terms of what they're planning on tonight, but this should be a bit of a humdinger of a match here. Because what Kommander has been showing as they've been going along, like pretty much everybody that's come up from AAA here in this last little bit, hey, he tapped out there, didn't he? Figured that'd be a tap out, wouldn't it? What is Sean Spears doing out there? He's resuming his spot back out in the crowd like he did during the COVID era, or what? But I do want to give full props to Sean Spears, who essentially walked away from wrestling to be a dad. If you didn't hear, himself and Cassie Lee, they're now parents, and he wanted to stay home and take care of the kid right off the bat. And granted, with as little as they had for him there, I don't blame him for doing it. If Tony Khan's going to pay him to stay at home and help out with the family. Oh, that was okay. Okay. That was not Vikingo quality, but it still wasn't bad. I don't want to give it the full chat yet. You got to do something a little bit more than that to earn this one. Let's go. No, he just slipped. Because these ropes are... Maybe it's just me, but those ropes look a little loose. Well, that's one way to fix things. Not much high fly in there. I thought it'd be a little bit more there, but... All right, we hit the picture once again. That was a little rough, that little section there, but typically that's because the ropes, like, here's the thing. Like, a lot of people say, why didn't you see a lot of this high flying stuff way back earlier? I don't think it was physically possible in a lot of cases because, well, hell, during the 80s and the early 90s, you would actually have your ropes tied up a little looser than they are today. Not only do they give a little bit more give, but you know that crucifix arm tied in the rope spot? You can't do it on today's ropes because they're just way too tight. Or it's very hard for you to do it in this case because while the ropes do have some give, they don't have a ton of it. And of course, they're going back to Spears again, watching everything. It's interesting. Oh, he's ranking. Oh, okay, here we go. He's got the numbers out. He gave that chop a 4. I'd say it's at least a 5. Oh, he gave it a 6. He gave this one a 6. All right. See, this is perfect for picture-in-picture. If you want to kill some time, have him out there with those flashcards and he gave a body slam a 9. No, that's better. That's a 6. That body slam wasn't even worth half of that. And you know nobody's getting a 10 off him, right? So do you guys think Ricky Starks comes out tonight to interfere in the match just because, you know, that is the feud that's supposed to be going on right now? I'm assuming he'll probably show up after the match here tonight. Because I think we just have, like, after this match, we have the face-off between Jericho and Cole that might actually, that might be the 10-minute promo we want to hear. Then they're probably going to give Sammy and Perry maybe 15, 20 minutes. So I could totally see us. Well, we still got that 6-person tag yet. With the JAS taking on the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Gotta admit, for Switchblade's debut match, this isn't bad. It's just nice pin. Little inside out, upside down, in and out. Oh my God. That clothesline was a little in and out, and I almost think Kommander might have broke his neck on that if he didn't get up just a little bit. Nice chops there. Well, I was expecting a little faster pace of this match, but I'm not hating it. That little botch at the early part sort of took me out of it a little bit, but it's still pretty decent right now. Is he going to break his arm up there? Oh, never mind. Kommander is pretty freaking impressive. Yeah, like, you know what? As much as, you know, he's had a few, that first one was a little bit of a flop. Here we go. Like, I still want to go back and watch the Supercard of Honor when it was Kommander versus Vikingo. Like, Vikingo, like, he has been impressive in so many ways. Jesus! Here we go. There it is. There's your ECW chat for tonight. Spears pulling out the 10. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Hits it. My God. That was... Yeah. Let's just throw an extra 4 flips into it. AEW needs to make an official AAA partnership. The thing is, they won't. Oh, and here it is. Oh, never mind. Oh, he's looking for... Oh. I'll get into that in a second because it looks like we're about to finish here. Oh, here it is. There's your victory. Ha! Game of 5. I love it. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't think that AEW is going to get a AAA. Well, here we go. Here's a new rivalry. This crowd's not dealing with it right now. I'll get into that partnership in a second here. Oh, and they hit the button. They hit the button. And Ricky's... Jesus! Did you see that spear by Starks? Like, that's what a spear should look like. Like, there's no pause, there's no arms. It's just literally, I am going to throw myself like a Scud missile into you. But right now, Conan, who's one of the top guys in, FTR, hold on. I love this. Mark's like, no. This is so hokey. I love it. All right, well, this is how you start up a feud with... Oh, we are going to get 2 more matches tonight. Okay. No, Hey, Darth Mick, good to see you here tonight. You actually picked probably the best part of the night to show up because the first half hour was just... Ugh. They had the Pillars trying to come out for an interview or a promo to start off the show, and it just didn't click. But quickly to get into it, the AEW AAA partnership you talk about. After, well, Conan basically is one of the head guys over at AAA, and I think he's starting to get in buddy with WWE right now. And especially after the stripping of the title by AAA from Ty Conti and Sammy Guevarra, the mixed tag titles for AAA. Tony Khan pulled them from 2 bookings in AAA, which basically gave AAA no choice but to strip those titles. And then Dragon Lee ends up winning the AAA Tag Team Championships with his brother over FTR. And in the post-match speech, announces that he will be dropping the titles because he's been signed by WWE. So Tony Khan and AAA are not exactly in the best of books right now. And like I said, if Conan is looking to work with Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio and all that up in WWE, and in particular maybe a Backlash in Puerto Rico, which seems to be a very big thing coming up here in terms of socially, especially out there. I don't see it happening in the future. So, hey, anything can happen, but I do know that Tony knows good talent, so he definitely wants to make sure he brings it in. If he dealt with every personal issue that came up and just didn't want to even think about it, he wouldn't be thinking about these AAA guys, and he wouldn't be thinking about CM Punk, which I know that the CM Punk thing is a lot of hearsay and rumors, but there's way too much smoke there to not be a fire set up somewhere. And unfortunately, that could end up being a very big dumpster fire. But in my opinion, let me be perfectly clear. I don't feel that CM Punk should come back. In terms of, I don't think he turns the needle that much anyway. For the mere fact that he gets injured all the time. And for the amount of times that he gets injured, I don't think he's worth the money to bring back. I get it. He's a draw in some places, but I was thinking today that I wonder the reason we haven't seen Fight Forever is because they want to sort out this rumor that news showing Punk and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple reasons for that. As we see Jericho in the ring here. According to some of the developers for Fight Forever, the game just doesn't have enough polish on it. And one thing I can say, and I do think I feel, one thing I do feel when it comes to fighting, I do feel like I'm not an expert in fighting games, but I've done enough research on checking out development and all the perspectives going on in fighting games. One thing about fighting games compared to most other games on the market, fighting games need an extreme level of polish to clean up. Because when you're in a situation where you're in a repeated scenario over and over again, if you have a bug in there that's causing you problems, it's going to cause you problems all the time. When you're dealing with role-playing games or adventure games or anything that doesn't run the same area the exact same time, you could have a glitch here or there and people could just move around and it go away. You have a glitch in a fighting game, it's going to affect you the entire time. It's sort of the same thing when you deal with like MLB The Show. And we're having this glitch where if you do all the in-between innings, now in head-to-head games, it will have the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox logo on the side instead of your logo. It's something you're going to see every single time because you're always in that situation. Punk is as fragile as Glass Joe from Punch-Out. I'll give you that, and I'll give you one of those too. Honestly, I don't believe it's a polished thing. Omega isn't dumb. He's been hyping it up. I think they're not sure why the story is with AEW and don't want the game to be out of date or expired a month after release. I'm sure they're polishing, but it's backstage stuff that they can't say publicly. It very well could be as well. Yeah, it is. I'll get back to the AEW game in a bit here. But there's always a but with one of those statements. Yeah, we knew that was coming. Adam Cole could hang with MJF on the mic too. Yeah, like, and the thing is, Adam Cole could actually carry a conversation. Okay. That's where they're going from? A lack of respect? Jagoff. Which I guess, you know, dealing with Jacksonville. That look on Jericho's priceless right now. I was going to say, when's the last time you look at a mirror and use a comb? Not that I can be an expert on hair or anything. Stupid idiot. Oh my God. Stealing catchphrases left, right, and center. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, please give me this match. Give me this match. This is the match a lot of us have wanted to see for years. If you're not going to get Shawn Michaels, Adam Cole, yeah, you are. Right effing now. Cole hates swearing, by the way. I don't know how much I'd be wanting to punch a guy wearing a spiked jacket. Oh, and here comes Garcia. So we got our set match coming up. Somebody go hit the button. Somebody gotta hit the button backstage. Oh, here comes Britt. Oh, here comes Anna. Anna's got to come out now. Anna or Ty is going to be one of the two that come out. Never mind. Yep. Oh, this is... handcuffs. Now we're going to handcuffs. Now they're going to go for a chair. Good thing those ladies ran to the ring in case Baker came out, just in case waiting backstage. They would be. No, they're going to do it to Britt. Soraya's going to do it to Britt. That's going to... yeah. And she's been playing up back issues here for a while. All right, well, we got our next Double or Nothing feud. She can't even hit these right. Gets Baker off TV. It's actually, yeah. Well, I guess Saraya hasn't been able to do much in the ring. Well, at least the crowd's got it right. So now they're going to leave it to commercial break with everybody in the... Adam Cole Saraya would be awesome. I think we could see this over at Double or Nothing. We could get a mixed tag. But we are definitely advancing the feud quite a bit here. Jeff Hardy. Be there or be triangular. Attaboy. Gotta be different all the time. Why weren't these referees out here sooner with keys? Okay, so now we are going to get the other three members of the JAS in tag team action here. Gotta love that hat. But going back to the video game really quick here, I'll be frank, I feel that they're going to release it the week of All In. Just because they could advertise it in front of 90,000 people. 90,000 wrestling fans. All right, everybody be quiet. 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 Bud Light joke. Oh, Draymond Green joke. Gotta love it. All right. I'll give that one a solid B. Mainly because they had to mute some of it, so we didn't get to hear part of it. Oh. But honestly, like I've already pre-ordered the game myself at GameStop. I've ordered that the same day I ordered Street Fighter 6, which is coming up in just over a month and a half here. Because I've had faith that this game's going to be coming out sooner than later, but if it doesn't come out by All In, All Out, the two pay-per-views coming up in August and early September, I might just ask for my money back on the pre-order. Because, well, frankly, why in the... Like, there's no reason it should be taking this long. I know Omega said, like you said earlier before, Adam, that Omega's not dumb when it comes to video games, but also at the same time, he also is looking to see if things play well. And it could play well, but there could be some functionality they want fixed. And I think they're ultra nervous about making sure that there's nothing here that screws things up. And there could be many ways that Jukes is scared about this, because this is like everybody's considering it. So as you know, you missed the first hour. Has the crowd been this lively all night? Hell no. The first 20 minutes was an opening promo with the three pillars of AEW, self-proclaimed. 3 of the 4 pillars. Where we got proof that Sammy Guevarra, Jack Perry, and Darby Allin do not know how to do a driven promo. It was just sauntering along, and then all of a sudden MJF comes out and basically speeds things up and gets things over with... they set up a tournament to determine who's going to face MJF at Double or Nothing. So in our main event, we are getting Sammy Guevarra and Jack Perry, and the winner gets Darby Allin next week. So, Then they had the women's match, the women's tag. So the crowd did pick up for that. And yeah, from there we had the BCC Elite segment go off, which the crowd was okay for. And then we had Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow, where Wardlow became the new TNT champion. Hotshining the title once again. You got a pop from Glock Anderson. And and from there, we hit that second hour running, and that was about as lot. Right now, they've been a lot louder than they were in the first hour. That's for dang sure. No question they need it to be good, and it could be very well they just don't think it's ready. AEW has been up in the air for like 6 months, shows and roster-wise. I believe either reason for the delays. Yeah, like in terms of roster-wise, from what Omega mentioned early up in his description going into the game, I don't think the roster is going to be much of an issue because they especially want to make sure that this is a game that rather than getting the yearly game sent out like we do with WWE, they want this to be one of those roster update games, like basically what we want to see out of NHL, NBA, Madden, the thing we'd like to see where everything's set basically the same. Why not just give us a roster update? So they're basically looking at that for this game. So don't ever do that to Hayter, because Hager's going to work you over. Ugh. No matter how Dynamite does, it's better than Raw. SmackDown, though, SmackDown has been really hit or miss lately, too. I'm not going to say... Like, it's 2 hours versus 2 hours, which also is a very fair comparison, right? And it's all going to be interesting. Like, what are they going to do this week just to get us towards the draft next week for SmackDown? Because very well this week could be a nothing week for SmackDown. Because the biggest advertised match that they have on there is going to be the women's tag team match between Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green versus Raquel Gonzalez and Liv Morgan. The loaded comb. Yeah, let's get rid of that comb right now. I love this crowd. Oh my God, he broke the comb! Oh my. All right, there's a tag. That's how this is going to end. The arrival and the mic drop. There you go. There's your victory. You knew they had to get through it rather quickly here just because we only got 20 minutes left. And we got two pillars to face each other here in a semifinal for a tournament. Come on now. I really wonder how many tickets they're going to sell for that Wembley show. I got a feeling they are going to sell out. I know a lot of people are skeptical about it, but I think people are underestimating the value and the quality of the product AEW provides. Because you get AEW outside of the States. Why? Excuse me, we got Vikingo and Yeah. All right, well, Saturday night's definitely going to be worth checking out. Moxley and Daniels, okay. Taya and Jade next week. That is going to be fun to watch. That's going to be fun to watch next week. And then Darby versus... I'm assuming it's going to be Perry. And I love us. I can't say enough about the fact that Sammy uses a Dragon Ball Z entrance. So they're actually leaving Ty in the back. I do love that on the vest that the JAS have, it says Brody Forever on the one collar. Mad respect for that. Mad respect. Yeah. So we're into our last commercial break here before we wrap things up. At least I think it's the last full commercial break. So just want to give you a quick rundown of what we're going to be doing up for the next week here. Coming up tomorrow, assuming everything goes decently, because these last 2 Mondays have been crap. I am going to try and get one more week of King of Fighters in. We want to get to the search for Evo, as we are going through all 8 games that Evo is going to be showing up here for the 2023 event, the biggest fighting tournament of the year. We want to get through all 8 games before the tournament starts. So we'll do a second week of King of Fighters, and then we're going to move on. Probably do Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3 is probably where we're going to end up here. Try and get all the games with the same button functioning, and we'll get into some of the harder ones later on here. And then Saturday, once again, is the ref smarter than WWE booking? We're into week 6. We just passed through the Survivor Series last week in first place, but our money's starting to get a little low here because I sort of overspent on some main event matches, so things are about to get a lot more interesting. And then then we're going to get back to more of a regular schedule next week. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday is probably what we're looking at. Thursday afternoon instead of Thursday night. Monday will be UMVC 3, and then Wednesday is going to be our usual AEW Dynamite. Thursday will be Breath of the Wild. Once again, we're starting to get some joy in that. And then Saturday, of course, the GM mode. How do you like GM mode compared to last year's? I'll be honest, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the GM mode last year. I did one run before we went into this year's game. There's a lot more thinking to it this year. The fact that you use specialists on your roster drastically affects the quality of your match depending on who you're taking on. The new match types really help as well. And there's a lot more risk when you use a lot more of the different matches. Like, for example, if you use a backstage brawl as one of your matches, you will get an extra bonus for finishing off the feud, but your stamina is going to get killed, and it's also going to cost you $90,000, which in your budget terms is going to be absolutely insane. But you could tell these promos jumping back to the show here. You could tell the promos are... the promos were taking a little bit long because these entrances are getting shorter and shorter as the show goes on. But if you guys are interested to see how the GM mode actually works right now, you can actually check out our YouTube channel. Every Saturday before I get on with the GM mode, I actually post the previous week up there. So if you just want to catch a little bit of a glimpse about what's going on, have it on in the background while you're doing it. We actually all right, let me just throw this out here right now. Sammy's already at it. But we book the matches and then we spectate whatever we can. They will... All right, Jack gets one of those too now. The game will not allow you to spectate any matches involving a run-in. So... everybody's pulling out every special move in the world right now. And Darby's sitting up there just like, get the camera off me now. This is almost as bad as getting those pictures of MJF in the box as everybody's going on. The Saturdays are fun. We're really leaning towards buying the game. I highly recommend the game if you're not going to get a chance to play it full time. Like I just do the GM mode and I do it for streaming. If you're just doing it for fun, possibly wait for a sale. Because I'm sure there's going to be a sale coming up probably around SummerSlam weekend. It's sort of like when the PGA Championship comes up. I do expect EAPGA to be on sale as well. And that's probably when I'll pick it up personally. Because that is a game I'd like to get into as well as part of a regular streaming circuit here. If I could get enough time to get it in. Lord knows I got to get a little bit more... Let's just throw another one out there. It's funny when some of these companies, when they see the sales come up, they don't recognize that those sales are directly related to certain events going on, especially wrestling games. Wrestling games have a tendency to go on sale during the big four pay-per-views. But once again, it's just interesting to see everything that's going on right now in the gaming world and the wrestling world. We didn't even talk about the biggest story that come down from WWE this week, that they have brokered a deal with Twitch so that any of their independent contractors can work on Twitch and they actually just take a little bit of a cut instead of just banning them outright from the platform. There are two ways to look at this. One, it's like they're taking a licensing fee for using the name, which I get. I understand. I don't mind that. In a way, if WWE gets a little bit of money for using, like, for whatever names you want to use, like, I know Nixon Newell doesn't use her, Tegan Knox doesn't use her ring name on her Twitch channel. She uses Nixon Newell. Xavier Woods will use Xavier Woods. Or he goes by the name Austin Creed sometimes, but if he ever uses Xavier Woods, it applies there. On the other hand, once again, this comes up to the fact of they're independent contractors. And if you don't want to give them the benefits of being an employee, you shouldn't be finding a way to take money away from them that isn't directly related to your product. But if you think of it as a royalty name, just like they take a royalty off of the toys that are made. WWE takes a little bit of a royalty off that because it's their name. So, yeah. And Adam, you're bang on here. If they're using their real names, they shouldn't be getting any credit for it, which it's a hit or miss situation. It's sort of the point of the reason you're famous is because of us, so the least you could do is give us a little bit of money here. My feeling is you guys are taking so much from them and making them pay for so much compared to what AEW does, because let's face it, with AEW, they let you stream whatever you want. You can use your ring name. You can use your real name. You can use whatever you want. AEW doesn't take a cent off of that. They do ask that once in a while you come help out with the AEW Games channel, but it almost seems like it's a privilege to get on that channel versus having to be there. It's almost like everybody wants to be there. The only caveat I do believe that WWE has is if WWE talents want to have AEW talents on their channel, they do have to get pre-approval from WWE first. Which could happen, might not happen. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. We'll find out the next time that the party want to play the Uno. Which, by the way, is absolutely freaking hilarious watching those guys. Oh, my God! That almost didn't look like a destroyer. It looked like a flipping DDT out of nowhere. But instead it was with the legs, so it's like, oh, my God. I will say this. So this is one thing that I love about JR compared to what Toni and Taz bring. After that move, like after the spot was hit and the cover was missed, you don't really get that sense of enthusiasm out of Taz and Toni that you would have gotten out of Prime JR. Like, don't get me wrong. JR right now is, I don't want to say a shell of his former self, but he definitely isn't exactly 100% of what he was during the Attitude Era. But the one thing I could say is he did bring the energy. How is Darby in the finals already? MJF. Oh my God. That was a DDT. During the opening segment, MJF said he talked to Toni in the back, and they came up with this tournament draw where rather than having a round robin like we all figure would make sense, they did a somebody gets a bye, and MJF pulled out a lackey out of the back with a cap with all three names in it. He just went in, grabbed the sheet, opened it up, and it said Darby Allin, so he got the bye. So that's how he got. These guys are intent to breaking each other's necks. Seriously. It's like Poison Ranas or like the like some people use clotheslines for reversals, but these guys are using Poison Ranas. Like, seriously. And that's basically how they ended the promo up real quick there, Adam. Like, honestly, that was 12 minutes of my life I really wish I could have got back. The first 9 minutes of that promo was just three guys who were trying to prove that they could actually talk. But unfortunately, it was like talking when they have the mic on, or the record on a 45 when it should be on a 118. or whatever that third speed is. I'm old, but I'm not that old. I don't deal with LPs a lot. Well, went for a knee and now get caught in the bear. There's the bear trap. We got 4 minutes left, so it could be anything here. I'm surprised he wrestles with the wedding ring on. Would think the wife would be trying to pawn it off in the back right now. Honestly, Sammy has all the talent in the world, but I think Sammy's biggest enemy is going to be Sammy for his entire career. He's like Jeff Hardy without the crazy drugs and stupid spots. Snare trap doesn't look that terrible to be honest. It's an STF with both legs crossed. Jesus! Jack literally flew there. Yeah, I hope Sammy matures because Sammy's got all the potential in the world. As he gets older, as he gets stronger, I am the table. But yeah, as Sammy gets bigger, he gets stronger, he gets more experience, he very well could be that pillar you're talking about, but... Oh, and there's MJF with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Oh, great. So this is how... So Sammy's going to beat Darby the same way. And then somebody's going to come out and say, no, we're not having this. I think we end up getting a Fatal 4-Way when it's all said that I'm with you, Adam. I don't see there being a point here where... At least Sammy and Darby will be a decent match too, right? Or what I could also see is... Jack come out and interfere and basically break the entire match up. And of course, there's a side of the crowd. Rubber chickens are better than Cody. You just shut up. You just got to teach that guy some aim next time. Now they're trying to fill the last minute up here, so... Darby's just looking for the crowd. There's got to be a point where Sting comes out to... he's either going to interfere, or if we're going to get this matchup, I could see Sting doing the final turn on Darby so they can set up that Darby versus Sting retirement match for Sting. Looks like they're going to fade to black off this. Okay, well, all in all, tonight was okay. We had some good matches on the card. Was not a very good start. That promo brought everybody back a few steps to start off the show. The women's match was okay. It set up exactly what we thought it should. That injury to Jamie sort of set up what happened here during the Jericho Adam Cole segment. If you guys didn't remember, Ruby put Jamie into the stairs and then kicked the stairs with his shoulder there. So to wreck her shoulder, they had to walk out there. Have yourself a good night, Zodiac. We will talk to you later. Yeah, the rest of the card, I'd say fairly solid. Nothing that's going to bite you and say that you have to come back next week, but I would say the only thing that really tipped my cap to really wanting to check things out next week is what happened with Jericho and Adam Cole. Because now you're going to see the response from Cole, and Cole is not going to take this lying down for what happened to Britt there. And when it comes to the rest of the feud, you get Wardlow winning the TNT Championship. Are we going to do another rematch again? Are we going to play hot potato with that? I don't know. The fact we got Glock Anderson was always a good thing, too. But other than that, like, I wouldn't say there's anything really bad. Even Kommander and Jay White was decent. Like, with a AAA match, you're expecting a few things to get a little clunky at times, but once things got rolling, it really ended up being a smooth match with Jay White getting the victory and eventually Ricky Starks coming out to make the save there with that awesome spear on Juice. So we might be heading towards a tag team match or something a little more prevalent like that, but all in all, like I said, this wasn't a show that, if you were trying to sell this to sponsors and whatnot to get advertising revenue, this is not the show to do it. This is a sustainable show. It wasn't a great show. But I am looking forward to see what's going to happen next week. Are they with Cole and Jericho? I can't wait to see what Jade and Taya, because I'm assuming Taya might actually be that person who they're finally going to take that title off Jade, and Taya could be the person to do it. And yeah, I don't know what other matches are going to be scheduled. We're going to have to wait till Saturday to find those out, but it's going to be a fun time.